Costumes and candy are fun, but we can't forget the spooks and thrills of Halloween. I caught up with paranormal expert Thomas D'Agostino, who shares a local haunted tale.
All right, well, he loves Rhode Island and the local haunts so much, he literally wrote the book on it, Haunted Rhode Island. And Thomas D'Agostino joins us once again. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm great. You know, we had so much fun with you last year when you took us out and about to a lot of great local haunts in Rhode Island. And there is a lot of haunted history right here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So let's share. I'd love for you to share another story with us. This is one that I hadn't heard of before, and it is that of the Dark Swamp. So give us some knowledge on the legend there. Why is it haunted, and where is it?
Dark Swamp is located in northwestern Rhode Island, it's in Gloucester, Rhode Island, West Gloucester, on the Connecticut border. And it has been known for beyond what people even can remember to be haunted by a creature called It. Now, the Indians, the settlers, they kind of had knowledge of it, but there is some actual documentation of a few people who encountered it. One of them is a man named Albert Hicks. He was actually a pirate. He came from Foster, Rhode Island, and he had heard that there was buried treasure near there when growing up on his father's farm. So he snuck out there in the middle of the night in around the 1840s. And while they were digging up this area, which was just happened to be in Dark Swamp, this creature, they could smell it before they even saw it. He actually and his three buddies saw this creature that had like flaming eyes, and it was like clamshells almost for like scales, and it made this hideous noise and breathed fire. They actually threw all their shovels and ran. That was the end of it. And this is a guy who was a pirate, so he would, not likely to scare easy.
Yeah.
And he never went back. And then in the late 1800s, 1896 about, a man was actually walking home from work, and that was Neil Hopkins, a lot of Hopkins out there. And this thing came out into the road after him, and he ran, and it chased him, and he said the same thing. It was a large creature, big as an elephant, sounded like steel when it ran, breathed fire, and then it bounded back into the woods, probably reached its border. But the other people, the whole history behind it is that people would not go near this area, Dark Swamp. It's so dark. The trees are gnarly. The sun barely shines in it. And actually, people have disappeared in there, according to several accounts. They're not sure if they drowned in the big holes, the potholes and things like that, or if they actually were eaten by it.
So you mentioned a lot of people having these encounters or wanting to find out more. H.P. Lovecraft has a connection to this story as well, right?
Yes. In November of 1923, he and his best friend, C.M. Eddy, trekked out to West Gloucester. They got off the stagecoach at the Tavern on Main, walked out there and stopped at Katie's for lunch, and then went into Dark Swamp to find the creature he called Quest for the Grotesque and Terrible. And as he mentioned it, yeah. And he had some old timers who did tell him stories about how they people would build their houses miles from Dark Swamp and wouldn't even go venture in there to cut wood or anything because of this creature, that could swallow anything whole.
So you have been to a lot of these sites over the years. Have you seen it?
No. We went into Dark Swamp twice, but I guess I could say luckily we didn't see it. Yeah, I don't know how fast I could run. I mean, I was a cross-country star, but I don't know how fast this creature is.
Yeah, it sounds pretty terrifying, that's for sure. So where do you stand on this? Haunted or not? What do you think?
Dark Swamp is definitely a creepy place. I mean, a lot of people still go in there or in the area of it, but you can't really go into the swamp. You're probably going to just go sink in the muck. But I got to say, with all these, these different stories and lots of different testimonies, that something's out there.
Yeah,
could still be.
Got to be something. All right, well, we'll leave it at that. Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure.